Now, there are so many reasons why people love living in Fort Collins, but one of them is it has a phenomenal school district. The Poudre School District, the one that I went to, grew up in, and why I'm so intelligent, highly educated, well-spoken, all the above. Now I say that in jest, but it was a great school, and I'm proud to have gone there, and I'm proud to be sending my kids there. But we have a changing demographic in Fort Collins. It's a little bit older population. While I was going through school, our median age in Fort Collins was 29-ish. But now it's a little bit higher in the 30s, even like high 30s. And that means, and people are having less kids, more dual income, no kids, dinks. We got a lot of those clients. But that does put pressure on the infrastructure that we have built. One of the things that Fort Collins has done that has been amazing over its years has built phenomenally planned infrastructure, utilities being underground, streets before they're needing to be used. Now I-25 has always been needed or has been needing to be a 3-lane for the last about 20 years, and we'll finally get there in the next couple of years from Fort Collins to Denver. But our infrastructure has always been top notch. And that being said, there has been a significant reduction in students in Poudre School District. This year, we lost 513, but 493 overall when you include charter school students. And now that's a 3-year continuous decline that mirrors statewide enrollment. And when your funding is based on a per student enrollment, Fort Collins could potentially be on the hook to lose $10.2 million, not this year, but next year. And that puts pressure on the budget. Now, my understanding is the Board of Education in Fort Collins and the Poudre School District has planned for this. They saw the writing on the wall. They've made their budgets accordingly. We did pass a mill levy that raised, I think, like either 49 million or 149 million, a lot of millions to help this funding gap to bridge when we had a lot of strife, concern when the Poudre School District was considering shutting down like 3 or 4 schools based off of enrollment, redrawing boundaries, getting schools more full. Because, what they want is, I think it was 400 or 500 kids in elementary schools, 700 kids in middle schools, and those numbers just aren't there. Whether kids are being homeschooled more, going to charter schools, alternative education, whatever the reason is, or fewer kids in the city. And, even places like Weld County and Greeley, they're seeing a significant population increase, but even their enrollments are down. So it's something that Fort Collins, surrounding school districts, the state of Colorado is going to have to deal with. And probably in 2027, they are going to relook at consolidation of schools. So I would say get in touch with the Board of Educators, somebody who's in your district. Make sure that they understand, how valuable your school is. And anyways, it's a big deal. So it's definitely something worth paying attention to. Speaking of which, it's front page news all the time, which is just so distracting. And maybe I always talk about how maybe I should have more of a heart. Maybe I should realize how important it is to the ecosystem. I don't know. But there was $1 million in funding that was required by the state of Colorado to pay back ranchers because of this reintroduction of wolves. There's about 30 to 40 wolves. That's what's crazy in Colorado. I thought there was like 7, honestly. But there's 30 to 40 wolves. And I don't understand the math perfectly. I did a little bit of research, and it looked like there was about $15,000 per head that was to be reimbursed from a death. But there was only 37 confirmed livestock depredations, but it cost $1.03 million. So I don't know how all of that works. I don't know if a depredation means like multiple deaths. But regardless, it's a strain on the budget. And I feel like in a time where the state of Colorado's budget's getting tightened, city of Fort Collins budgets getting tightened, this just seems like something that why are we doing this? It is crazy to me, but to each their own, right? All right. There is an article in the Colorado that talked about 9 spots to snag a breakfast burrito. And I'm going to share my screen because I want you guys to kind of see where it is and what's going on. I'm a big burrito guy. My wife makes fun of me. If we go to a restaurant, it's pretty much like, what are you ordering? And I'm getting a breakfast burrito. Consuelo's Express, absolutely. It's a drive-through. Check it out. Green chili, hot, medium, like mild type of green chili. It's delicious. And really, honestly, super affordable. Off of Riverside and LeMay. Coming down here to Almanistas. This is one, I think there's two on this list that I have not been to. This I have not been to. I think it's off of Shields and Drake, kind of over in that Drake shopping center by Rain Tree Athletic Club. But moving down, Big City Burrito. This is a staple in Fort Collins. The gut buster for a lunch. Breakfast burritos are super solid. Lines out the door all the time. Now that's also because there's not really any room for a line. But that's something they're kind of claim to fame as far as, lines out the door. And that is a big deal. A gut buster, essentially, that is a double wide burrito. I was joking with a buddy of mine. We were out to lunch yesterday and I was talking to him about, I was like, man, there was one time in my life that I was unemployed for about 3 months and I played basketball like 3 days a week when I was like early 20s, 22 to 23. And every day I would go and eat lunch at Obie's, great sandwich spot, by the way, in Fort Collins. But I would have like the 16-inch long sandwich with a cookie and Doritos. Can't do that much anymore, but every once in a while I might have to go and enjoy myself a little bit of a gut buster. Cafe Mexicali, in my opinion, the best tortillas in all of Fort Collins. I'm getting the, what is that? Let's see if it's right here. The inside out burrito. There we go. The inside out burrito, but I'm getting with sweet pork and white sauce. Can't go wrong. Illegal Pete's. Yeah, solid. Downtown, grab and go. There's not a ton of grab and go downtown. So Illegal Pete's fills that void. Has a great rooftop bar, by the way. El Diablo, went there one time with all my kids, or just maybe I was just my two boys, but it was my first time ever having a burrito. And it was delicious. So on the southeast side of town by Walmart, Harmony, and College, definitely recommend checking that out. This is the other one that I have not been to. Tortillas Las Four Americas. But I have been told these tortillas are even better than Cafe Mexicali. So, maybe Greenlight Cafe. I've not been there either. Mugs, solid, grab and go. I go there, or used to go there every Wednesday. And my wife would say that I smell like food. So we are changing locations there. And then last place I recommend is I just went to the Taco Palace. Just opened up. It's off of Riverside and Mulberry. It used to be Carl's Jr. There's still the Carl's Jr. stars in there. Recommend going and checking that out. Moving right along, Colorado is still restricting some SNAP purchases. So SNAP are kind of like a grocery store, helper for low-income individuals. And, I sent this to my wife and I was like, I tend to agree with this. I mean, now personally, I've gotten off of energy drinks, super sweet drinks. I still am a sweets person through and through, but it's saying, hey, we're not going to allow the purchase of like sodas or Red Bulls or certain things. And I'm like, you know what? I think there is a lot of different reasons for a lot of different things, but one of them is like, why is McDonald's cheaper than, going and having a very healthy meal? And then it's a circulating issue of bad health, strain on the healthcare system, hurts your income. And it just is, there's so many more reasons for it, but I'm like, you know what? Not to say that, we live in a free world in the United States, but let's stop putting as much poison. Cause I'm still all about the sweets, but let's stop putting as much poison in our system as we are. Fort Collins Thrift Store, ARC is expanding to Joanne's space. So that is off of College between Drake and Horsetooth, I believe it is. And, a solid little shopping center. Sad to see Joanne's go. Not a super big fan of having ARC just, join spaces with that because, I always like seeing new spaces come into Fort Collins. But speaking about new spaces, the redevelopment of 160 West Mountain. So if you've been to Stakeout Saloon or what is it called? Trailside, across the street from Slice Pizza. It's been this kind of dilapidated building, underused, but a local developer has bought it. What is it? It is I think it's like 14,000 square foot building, but there's going to be a anchor restaurant that takes over that, as well as other retail and office space. The renderings of it, let's see if I can pull that up. Yep, I can pull it up. Let's pull it up so you guys can see it. It looks beautiful. The renderings of it look gorgeous. So I'll share my screen with you real quick. So again, Stakeout Saloon, Trailside right here. But this is going to be the new restaurant, retail, cafe. I mean, it's right along the Max Transit. Super excited about it. And these are the type of projects, you got on Linden Street. You got a redevelopment, about 3 spots there. I mean, downtown Fort Collins is just going to continue to look more and more beautiful. Probably get more and more expensive for our tenants and all of that kind of stuff above. But regardless, love seeing the investment in infrastructure and buildings and redevelopment of spaces like this in Fort Collins, taking something that's in a great location, old, and making it new and beautiful. Today, there is a city council spot opened up in District 6. Our new mayor, Emily Francis, was in District 6. So there is a vacated spot. There are 15 people that are set to apply for this, or that did apply for it. Today, they're going to narrow it down to 5, and I think vote on it tomorrow within the city council current members. So I think there's 6 members. Those individuals are going to listen to public comment today, and then have a special session tomorrow to vote on this and make it live. It seems like there are some really solid candidates that have applied. So we'll be interested and excited to watch how that goes. The city of Fort Collins also updated their website, which, it's okay. I've been on there. Maybe once I just maybe have to like play around with it. But I do think that it's really important to look to see how many people are using the website. Over 1.6 million active users and 443,000 returning visitors to the website last year. 6 million views last year. Top source for information for the community. I use it all the time to get a lot of information about city events, things that are happening there. But one thing that was crazy, and this is one thing that I'm a little bit sad about, there was 5,000 pages and 6,000 PDFs on the old website, and I used it significantly to get city sales tax, the meeting packet for the city council meetings. There was 300 content editors on any given day working on a website. Now we've offloaded it. I think we paid for it. A professional company is managing it, maintaining it. So there's a search bar. It should be pretty simple to use. Permits, lots of easy use on this website. So hopefully it is easy for you if that is something that you are interested in. Moving right along about things to do. One last thing is Tabor refunds, State of Colorado Taxpayer Bill of Rights. Always refunded on any type of overages or surpluses, and it's always been in the hundreds of dollars. Well, this might be the last year you get one, and that could be $19 to $59 for single filers, or $38 to $118 for joint filers. And next year doesn't look like there's going to be any refund. So if you rely on that for anything, hey, that's going to pay my utility bill, in the March, April time period. That is not coming anymore. Some things to do this week. There are 4 games for the Colorado Eagles. So if you haven't gone out and enjoyed yourself a Colorado Eagles game, definitely worth. It's a very affordable family outing. And there's 4 games this week. Otherwise, there is a single social at Union Bar and Soda Fountain. Crafts for Creatures benefit January 17th. There is the third Sundays at 8:30 North. There is the third Friday art walk, or foodie walk, on the third Friday downtown, 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday. And then let's see here. That's kind of it. After the winter time period, Christmas holiday season, not too much going on in Fort Collins for the first couple of weeks. Holiday lights are only up until February 14th. So if you haven't gotten downtown, walk around downtown, whether that be for a date night, taking the kids, going out yourself, driving around downtown. They're only here for 1 more month. And we've had the warmest December average temperature of record. It's like 50 degrees all this week. Get out there, enjoy the Poudre trails that's connecting 45 miles from Fort Collins to Greeley, and all the trail systems, all the activities that you can do outside, go hiking, get up in Red Feather. It is a great winter season for us. Now, a little dry, We need to wait. We need to pray for some snow up in the high country. We're only at 62% of our median snowpack right now. So we do need the moisture up in the high country. This is Live Fort Collins. Check out the podcast. We're putting that on a weekly basis. We are working on our studio. We should be done here soon with it. In-person interviews and events starting soon. So I appreciate you guys watching. And until next time, have a great day.